What's your name?
Siddharth.
Siddharth. Siddharth, am I answering someone? Please understand this. Am I replying to someone who does not know his real identity? Am I talking to someone who believes he is somebody he is actually not? And if that is the case, how will that ignorant mind understand? Who is asking? Siddharth is asking. Where is Siddharth standing? Siddharth is saying, what is my real identity? That's his question. What is my real identity? Now, somebody is asking me this question. Some identity is asking me this question, right? You are always in an identity. In your mind, you are always an identity. You are always somebody. If I ask you write down something about yourself, you will write down. You are somebody in your mind. So, Siddharth is asking this question to me as somebody. Now, if this somebody who is asking me this question is deeply mistaken about who he is, then it will be impossible to communicate. Why? Because my identity is my immediate reality. I deeply believe in it. If I refer to him as Pranav, he won't respond because he is deeply convinced of his identity as Siddharth. Don't we all deeply believe in our identities? Aren't we greatly convinced about them? We are. Now, if he is greatly convinced that he is Siddharth, and he asks me, sir, I do not know my real identity. What is my real identity? I'll say, but you already know. You are Siddharth. If I ask you, Siddharth, right now to write 20 statements beginning with I am, you would gleefully write 5 minutes and you'll be done with all 20. Now, when you are so clear, so copiously clear about who you are, then how can anybody answer? If that is the case. So,
does that come from self-realization?
No, there can be no self-realization as long as I am deeply convinced that I am X, Y, Z, A, B, C, this, that, all permutations, combinations. There is no self-realization. Self-realization starts not by seeking what I am not. Sir, what is my real identity? I am standing here believing this to be my identities, my entire set of my identities. And I'm asking, sir, what is my real identity? Bhai, as long as you are holding on to this set of identities as if it is dear life, how can you know whether there is anything called real identity? I am deeply convinced that my religion is the best religion. Will I be able to hear or understand anything? So, I do not have to begin by asking what is real. I have to pay attention to this, Siddharth. I have to begin by asking, I am already holding on to a few things. How real are they? Because you are not in a vacuum. The mind is already full of identities. Do not ask what is my real identity. Ask whether my current identities are real. Do not ask for a new identity because you already have innumerable identities. I said 20 statements beginning with I am. You can write 200 if you want to. You already have your plate full. So do not ask what is my real identity. Ask all these identities that I have already with me, how real are they? And how do you ask that? By looking at them. You see, I gave a simple example a while back. Let me repeat it. Identity is the substance of mind. Identity is what you think you are at any particular moment. Identity is your thoughts and your behavior. Do a thought experiment. If you are alone in this room, your behavior will change. At the same time, if there are, let's say, 100 more people in this room somehow accommodated, your behavior would again change. What you are is always changing depending on others. And when the intelligent mind looks at this, he says, this cannot be my real identity because it is so dependent upon others. I cannot be this. I cannot be this. Then he looks at the other things that are there in his mind and he takes as real. Things like ideologies, things like religion, things like ideas about career, work and money. And he asks himself honestly and intelligently, where have I obtained these from? Has there been any discretion when they have been deeply embedded in my mind? Or did they just keep coming to me from all kinds of external sources and I kept absorbing them like a sponge? How did I get my religion? How did I come to know that this is what is called a good life? That this kind of money must be earned? How did I come to know that these kind of interests must be there? I love cricket. Would I have loved cricket were I were born in Brazil? Where is all this coming from? That's what the intelligent mind questions. And it's from everyday life, morning till evening. And when you look at it, and I'm not talking about some new identity as real identity. I'm talking about your existing set of identities. When you look at your existing set of identities, and you, with rigor, with honesty, just inquire, you laugh. You say, all my life is being dictated from somewhere else. An unknown master. Unknown masters. I don't know how many of them are there. As I go back home, a single advertisement on a billboard, a hoarding, changes my identity. From someone who is a friend at that moment, I become a customer. Now the friend is gone and the customer is born. Why? Because an advertisement came your way. Anything has the power to take control over me. Now how can this identity be real? And when you reject all that which is not real, then you come across the real. So the first step, Siddharth, obviously is not asking what is real. It is the rejection of that which is not real. And find out all that which is not real. It's a great exercise and you will enjoy it. You will have a really good time finding out all that which is not real, fake and artificial in your life. And when you just throw that away, when you cast that away, all that is fake, a really new you is discovered. And that new you is beautiful. It is not like what you are right now. Ask yourself, would you be distracted had your neighbor not been there? Would you have been in attention had I not been there? If everything depends on the other, if the neighbor can come anytime and distract you, and if someone can come and bring you to attention, where are you in all this? Where is freedom? Where is youthfulness? Even the deepest desires come out of some identity, and you find even your deepest desires are being governed by society. As trends change, so do your desires. What do I desire? That which is trendy. What do I desire? That which is socially acceptable. What kind of job do I want which others will appreciate and give me credit for? What kind of friend do I want to be who is acceptable to the friends? What kind of answers do I want to write which will fetch me marks? That doesn't happen often, but that's not deliberate. And if everything is for others, where am I? Yeah? Would be very interesting to ask that. And that can be observed in day-to-day living. Do that. It's a good exercise.